Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and fix several years of financial misbehaviour. And you joined me at the very end of my first week in my first ever qualified teaching role. So my brain is scrambled egg. That is the technical definition for what I'm going with today. But I wanted to, because I did say there would be one coming, go through and have a little bit of a chat about savings, savings binders, savings challenges, savings goals, and the fact that oh God, how do you say this without sounding like a complete idiot? I get a little bit scared of saving, because I've not historically been very good at it, and therefore that I have a bit of a fear and a paranoia that the moment I start to save anything, it's just going to disappear. It can disappear for a genuine reason, and that will be because I've had to pay for an emergency or cover something else, or there has been a significant shortfall somewhere in my budgeting, or there's been something that's popped up that I've had to pay for, or in the past it has been me going, yeah, I'm going to save, and back when I wasn't really doing the channel or really thinking about budgeting, it was, yeah, I'm going to save loads this month, and don't save and just blow the money on I don't even know what. So there's also not really been a lot of room in my budget to accommodate either debt payoff or saving. It's been kind of picking and choosing, and I really want to get to the point where actually I can pay a bit towards debt and and put savings aside as well, because I don't want to go all in on my debt and put all of my leverage, so to speak, to that, and then I'm not covered if something pops up, because things do pop up. That's definitely something we can say happens in life. It's something we've evidenced and seen, and I've experienced on this channel itself. Now, I don't know how to get past being scared of savings. That's not what I'm here to tell you about. It's just a confession. I am scared of savings, and then I get really paranoid and worried that I'm not going to be able to do it, and therefore sometimes I just choose not to. One of the things that has been really, really helpful is just even trying to organise some savings categories. Now, if you are newish to watching and you've not gone through my back catalogue, you won't have seen my savings challenge binders, and that's because I didn't really get a chance to use them. Now, these are, if you are a long-term viewer, you will recognise these. These I got within the first 3 months of the channel, and these two here I got from a WH Smith's in a Christmas sale 18 months ago, and they were A6 organisers, and I repurposed them into binders. So they're not things that I tend to go out and go mad for when I buy. I have the designs and the patterns that I like. I have the amount that I choose. So first of all, I have my savings binders, and we're going to get back to the envelopes within them very shortly. So that's one tool that I have. I do have binders, which has helped me separate out the categories for things I would like to save for, regardless of whether I have saved for them or not. But even thinking about savings categories is far more of a step than I ever did before I was properly budgeting and before I started this channel. So we're going to come back to these in a second. The next thing I have are my self-created, I guess they're binders, but they're not really. I was inspired by, and quite frankly, not having the money to spend and support the original kind of, I guess, the originators of this style of cash envelope savings. The likes of Iris Budgets and several others who, I mean, if you can afford it and you want to within your budget without overstretching yourself, do go and support budgeting channels that do offer products, only if you're in a position to afford to, and you've paid all of your bills and you've paid your debts and that's the money that you want to spend on you, that's your spending money. Like, go and support the originators of things like this. I can't afford to, and I couldn't afford to, but what I had was an abundance of printer ink, laminating, paper and crafting, and created my own. Now, these are things which I have started to work on. Some are completely blank. will be used, and these are just laminated envelopes with some kind of patterns and things. This one doesn't even have the little numbers on yet, so that one's definitely an incomplete one. We have the 5k binder, which is the big daddy of the lot, and this one is where you basically save and go through and save kind of the amount in the envelopes, and at the very end you're going to have saved 5k. And what I realised was that when I started working on these, it worked really well in conjunction with things like savings challenges, because then it just felt like you were just focusing on that one challenge, and I was just slowly accumulating. It was going to be a 5k binder, and then I downgraded myself to the 3k binder, which is this one here. That's because of circumstances that were going on financially at the time, but one day I will do the 5k binder. And I have a little 2k one here as well, and this was just me experimenting with different sizes and different amounts, and these are things that I have made and that I am starting to use. And in the case of the 3k binder, which is this one here, that is what I will be going ahead and starting to save money into from my September mega wage. And then finally we come to savings challenges themselves. Now this is my box of challenges from creators that I have supported from predominantly over on Etsy. You've got the likes of Work by Abundant Budgets in here. You've got things from Budget Glow. You've got things from Queen Bee Makes. You've got things from The Rocking Witch. Oh my goodness, Budget with Zoe, who I don't believe exists on Etsy anymore. You've got Simply Savings, who doesn't really exist anymore. Budget with Ira. Who else have I got? So many. Budget with D or DD Louise Budgets. I have bought so many over the years, and some I've started and some I have completed. I have a stack up here of things I have worked through, things where I've paused and gone, I can't continue with this anymore, etc. Those are the ones that are not laminated. I've had to put myself in light of this here, and this is 2 years worth of accumulation. This is me, if I've said this is my spending money on me for this month, going out and spending my money on stuff like this. And I want to reiterate this and just say, if I earmark a category as spending or personal spending, that's for me to spend on whatever I like. That's my money for me. Now, even if you are following Dave Ramsey, who is particularly strict with what he classes, what he thinks you should throw to debt. He of all people, and I am not an advocate of his, he of all people still says, give yourself a little bit, an amount in your budget for you to have, for you to spend. If you were to go through a debt advisory company within the UK, and I'm only going to speak for the UK because I don't know about the abroad, and they go through a budget with you. They ask you to list how much you spend on cigarettes and how much you spend on alcohol, and if you have a gambling addiction, how much you spend on gambling, how much are you spending on a haircut, how much are you spending here, how much are you spending at a takeaway, because that all needs to go into a category. So whether we agree with that or not, we can debate about this for hours, and it's a debate that does exist in the budgeting community. How much personal spending money should you give yourself? Should you even give yourself spending money? Should you not? I'm a self-confessed person who likes spending money, okay? I love spending money. It's why I got into debt in the first place. But equally, as I have explained many times, and I will once again reiterate, because I know I have some lovely new followers who may not know this and may be like, oh, God, girl, what are you doing? If I mark a category as my personal spending money, that's for me to spend on what I choose. It can be a pack of stickers from Budget with Ira. It can be a saving challenge from Budget Glow. It can be a set of paper from The Works. It could be a candle from Primark. It could be a hair clip from Primark. What else have I got on my desk? It could be... oh, what have we got? It could be a Slytherin pencil case. What else have I got loading around here? It could be a battery charger. That's not a 3 for 2. What else have I got? Shall I carry on going? Do I need to carry on going? If I mark my spending money as my spending money, it's for me to spend on what I like. It's why I never go through when I actually like go through my weekly budget and go through every single line item. It's because if I've marked it as spending money for me, then that's not up for debate. I'll spend it on what I like. However, can I sit here and look at this and go over the past 2 years, I've probably bought far too many savings challenges that I haven't completed and haven't started? Yes. Okay, yes, I definitely have. So I have, and it's a struggle because I favourite these shops and I like them and I like the products. I have said to myself, I'm not allowed to buy myself any more savings challenges. I need to start working through some of these and actually using them, because it's a bit ridiculous that I have so many that I haven't used or gone through at all. Some people love the game aspect, and we already I think you can acknowledge that I'm a little bit of a competitive gaming person. Like, I like the competitive aspect of this, and there is a certain amount of satisfaction that comes with crossing something off or colouring something in or getting to a certain target and filling in a grid. Some of us really like that, and within the budgeting community from the UK side and a little bit from the international side as well, you will often find pockets of us where there will be a competition going on between the channels and who can do knockout 9 fastest, who can do the affinity challenge fastest, which latest game has Budget with Ira released, and how quickly can people compete it. It's never been something that I've been able to take part in because the money isn't there and hasn't been there within my budget for me to do the games, but I'm always there, like, quietly cheering them on and being like Gillian Budgets, who is the absolute queen of just completing savings challenges, and I'm name dropping people that I want you to go, if you're new to this, and check out and find. I can't put them in the description, I don't have time to write that as I'm filming today. I do need to start working through some of these and actually utilising them. I quite clearly bought them for a reason, not just that I wanted to support the creators and I had my personal money to spend and they looked pretty or they looked interesting. And this is where we come back to the binders themselves. Now, can't zoom out any further. I've already gone through and just flipped through and gone, yeah, I think these are the ones that I want to bring in and incorporate, but now I actually need to look at what I'm saving. Now, I am going to go through and start saving and working through each of these sections. You can see here I've pulled out a 1k savings challenge, which I'm going to go through and work through and save across, £1,000 worth across however many envelopes is needed. The 3k binder is very much eventually going to be either a month ahead or operate as an emergency fund until the point that I can have both an emergency fund and 1 month ahead on my income. So I have that is going to be going on, and what I may choose to do is get, say, another challenge and work through it and stick that in there, and the focus for that month might be the autumn challenge to save 100, and that £100 feed into this big one. This will all be things that you'll see in kind of videos upcoming. But then within the actual challenges and savings categories themselves, I've not opened these for a long time. So Bowie is my cat, vet, car care, insurance, for annual insurance, a new car, goodness gracious me, rainy day fund, a buffer for my bank account, a month's worth of bills, emergency fund, and 1 month over. Okay, so quite clearly at some point I sat down and thought I really need to be thinking and intending to save for long-term big categories. These are all empty. Okay, there's no money in there. Well, there's a Wilkinson survey thing there. There's nothing wrong with having categories like this and thinking long term. For me, I don't think, and I have come to the conclusion that having a month over / emergency isn't going to work sitting in here like this. I'm just not, there's no enticement to get there. Whereas as silly as it sounds, I have nice visual prints and patterns, and I have saving challenges where I can literally chunk it down to smaller amounts so I can make smaller, faster progress. I'm more inclined to do that. So what I will probably do at some point is go through and refine this one if it is my long-term savings challenge, and work my way through this instead. And then maybe the cash, if I go cash, and if I go cash-based savings for this, the cash filters into each of the sections that I want. Once this is complete, I might not. I don't know yet. I've not thought that far ahead. But certainly what I've found is that when I've launched into, I've done all of these envelopes and I've done all of these things, and these envelopes are self-created. Well, not self-created, I didn't create the wallets, but certainly the inserts and the labeling, that's all me, because again, I couldn't afford the envelopes. I'd gone all in on the savings challenges instead. Again, personal spending, do you then save your personal spending money into different categories? This was all things I was thinking of: healing, beauty, health, clothing, happy mail, which is what we affectionately call our Etsy savings purchases, self-care, rewards, days out, the house, things for the house. Again, nothing wrong with these categories. The thing that's wrong is that I don't have any money going into them, essentially. But in terms of like, this is my personal binder, well, I will be saving money towards my hair, which I guess would go into beauty. I'll be saving £100 towards that, and then I will spend that £100, and then I will start saving again for my next hair appointment. I may at some point decide I want to go for counselling, in which case I may try and save up for 10 sessions with a counsellor or with a therapist. I guess that could sit in healing. And self-care has become such a monetized market. Do I really want to do that? Is that going to be a hobby? Is that not going to be a hobby? Because I've been told by so many of my teaching colleagues, you need to have a good work-life balance. You need to make sure that you're not hermiting yourself over the school breaks, and you need to make sure that you're not holed up over the weekends just burying your head in work. So that is where the focus on trying to have one day trip or one outing, free or not, and some of them will be free because there are things on my list that I want to do which are free, but it just so happens the first one up isn't. So do I put that into a savings envelope or don't I? These are all really reasonable discussions to have, but there's no one size fits all approach to both savings and debt payoff and spending. It has to be what best suits me in this case, my lifestyle, my personality, my habits, which I can't break, that have been formed over a couple of decades at least, and then how do you work within any limitations that you may or may not have. What was this one? This was the school binder. So I started this before I started teacher training, so it has been over a year really since I've looked at these, and this was when I was looking and going, okay, but if I get pulled onto any school trips, I'm going to need some money for that in case something goes wrong. I'm going to need books, I might need miscellaneous things, I might need resources, any professional or admin fees that I might need to pay for. I'm involved with the Duke of Edinburgh Award Scheme as an assessor and a trainer, so I might need things there. So there were good intentions with this, but again, when I needed things during my teacher training, I just bought them and they were budgeted in because there wasn't really a chance to save up and do them. I just needed to get them. So again, good intentions, worth refining, not a bad thing to have as a category. What is this one? Okay, day trips, hiking, and Sweden. So you'll know if you've been watching for quite some time that I haven't had a holiday since I've started this channel. My last holiday was September 2021. So I've not had a holiday since I've started this channel. and I won't be having a holiday while I have Bowie, and that is because of his medical health needs, which I have accepted. But I've always said that the first big holiday that I want to do in the summer holidays that teachers get is to do like 4 weeks traveling throughout Sweden, and that is like not going to happen anytime soon and going to be expensive. And realistically, this is more of an aspirational reminder, having it in there. It's not something that I'm going to start saving for. I know that while I have my cat in the condition he's in, I won't be going away. But also, I'm not so shallow and vapid that I would take a holiday while I'm paying off my debt. So I will pay off my debt and I will be debt free, and that includes all of my arrears caught up on and all of my bills actually be able to be comfortably covered, and I will have a good emergency fund, and then I will start saving for something like this. Hiking is something which brings me an awful lot of value. It can be a free activity, but sometimes depending on where you're hiking, you do need certain gear and certain equipment and certain tools. Your body shape may change size, either increase or decrease, and sometimes you might need to replace something. Again, aspirations of being able to go out and do more hiking last year didn't happen, but again, it's there. And then day trip. Now I am going ahead and funding a day trip pretty much straight off outside of my budget, and then my intention is to do a couple of free or very low cost ones, things that I can just easily accommodate and pay for. But there may be something in, say, 6 months' time that I want to go and do. It may be there's an exhibition somewhere, or there's something happening that requires a little bit more of a payout, and I might decide in my monthly budget that I'm going to work on a £100 savings challenge, for example, and build this back up, and that's where this would sit. So again, binders and savings challenges and cash envelopes and savings envelopes, they are really unique and bespoke to the channel and the individual on that channel, and that really is, I guess, the point, I think, of this video. Oh, birthdays. Oh, God. Right, okay. My birthday, my sister, my dad, my mum and my brother, those are the people that I spend money on for birthdays. Now, you'll know that I'm going straight in and having to do my brother and my sister's birthdays, and that's because I haven't had a chance to save and get ahead. Words come back. Those are envelopes which I will start to work on savings towards for next year from January. My brother and sister's birthday is November, then we have Christmas, then I have my mum and dad's birthday in February, and they're a week apart, those birthdays, and my brother and sister's birthday are 2 days apart, so people in my family have wonderful inconvenient timing for me. They're so inconsiderate that they weren't thinking about me at the time when they were having my parents and my siblings. Honestly, almost like the universe. Anyway, normally I will have saved or certainly purchased presents well ahead of time. I'm an early Christmaser. I like to be an early Christmaser, either in terms of savings or purchasing. And it is stressing me out the fact that I'm not going to be this year. And again, budget, couldn't afford to do it. And I had a sick cat, it wasn't going to happen, other things came first. And again, I tend to get mum and dad's birthdays out of the way in February, and then I go ahead and start saving. And again, I will probably use a savings challenge like this or like this to go ahead and do that. So those will be the categories that I will prioritise first in terms of sinking funds for birthdays and gifts. Then it will probably be Christmas, and my Christmas finder is not up here, I have just realised. And then it will be things like, okay, I know in 3 or 4 months' time I'm having something done to my hair, I'm having this, or I would like to go and visit this stately home with an entry fee of this and travel costs of this. I don't know. In terms of savings challenges which I've pulled out that I've gone, yeah, I really I miss working on these, so I want to go ahead and do them. And debt repayment trackers as well are pretty decent. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to go ahead and do all of these. Some of them I won't go ahead and do straight away. But I'm pulling them out because that is me indicating to myself, set these to one side and go ahead and start thinking about them. What are you going to save for? Why are you going to save for it? And I know it's really silly, but I've found that I've saved far more effectively using things like this than I have been trying to do it off my own back. And some people just will not get that. And again, that's completely fine. Other people do things differently, and that's not a bad thing. Okay, first up. This will not be starting until January. This is a 12-month saving challenge, and I believe it is from, I can't remember because it's been some time. This is a 12-month savings challenge. You go through and you save a different amount each month, and at the end of the year you have £1,000. I will be starting this in January. I want to do it. I've pulled it out. Do I intend to start it straight away? Not at all. Then we have the debt repayment trackers, which there will be one for each debt, and I may have to make one of my own ones because I only have 3, but we will be coming back to those at another point. But I'm going to work on debt repayment trackers alongside my savings challenges. I'm going to do some form of a £1 challenge. This will probably be the first one up. You're going to save £100. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with things like this, but I'm going to recurringly keep going and see what happens. There's a winter £100 savings challenge here. This could form part of a Christmas fund, or it could form part of some Christmas activities that I want to do, which is related to the day trips. I've got an adventure fund here. Again, that could link to my involvement with the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme, which I will be taking part in as part of my new school, or part of my current school. And I know I have kit that I need to replace because I went through it all and things are broken, they're mouldy, they're torn, or they don't fit. Now, thankfully, I've got a year's notice. There's this really cute one from Abundant Budgets that came as a freebie, and each bean saves £5. Like, each bean is £5. I think it's £45 worth of savings. I don't know yet what I'd use it for, but I kind of like it, and it's kind of cute, and it's going to make this fun, and it's exciting. I've been talking about doing a penny challenge. I always try and work through them, and these are the things which I have great luck with. This is, you end up saving £151.50 out of your small change. I'm going to be saving my silver pennies and my copper pennies, and when I complete this, when I've saved in total £151.50, I'm going to put that towards my debt as an extra payment to whatever I'm working on at the time, and I'll either get there quickly or I won't get there quickly, but when I get there, that's an extra £151.50 without even trying, that I'm going to put towards my debt. And yes, it might just be pennies, and is that the most sensible way to go through and do things? No, but it's an extra £151.50 that I'm not going to find from somewhere else, because I'm not going to try and find it from somewhere else, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. That's my way of doing things. A book fund. Do I need more books? Admittedly, no. But are there really expensive books that I've been coveting for like 10 years that I always go £450 for a book is so expensive, but I want this. Like, you know, when you want something and you covet something so much, it becomes a little bit of an obsession. Like, that's the stage I'm at. So why not at some point I go through and start saving for that? And I'm going to buy that £450 book. Would that be what you spend your money on? Probably not. May it be something I do when I'm debt free? Probably, because even I can't justify that. We've got a little one here for £15 savings. It's not going to take much, but it's an extra 15 quid. It might be spending money on a day trip further down the line. Do I sound a little bit sarcastic? Yes, and that's because I think with an influx, and I say this in the nicest way possible, with an influx of new followers and new viewers, or you go ahead and you make a change, people that have been with you on the journey from way back, they get it. And people who are new may not. And sometimes that isn't always communicated well in comments, if you can imagine some of the week I've had. A Christmas savings challenge, okay? I don't have 6 months until Christmas. I need to set a Christmas budget. That's why the binder isn't up here, because I've been going through it and organising it. But I'll probably work an associated with winter or Christmas challenge to do it while I go through and sort everything out. A £100 savings challenge in £5. Realistically, this is going to be what I use to save towards my hair, because it's really cute and it's really easy, and it's done in £5 increments. A daily coffee fund. It's not going to be for daily coffee. Even I can't spend this much on coffee. But it's a really cute challenge. I like the design. I get to decide the amount. At some point, I'll decide what it's going to save for. Magic Moon and Manifestations. Now, for those OG, I can't believe I've said that. Ugh. For those who have been following me for a while, you'll know that I work with things like crystals and divination cards and things like that, and this is something that I do an awful lot of work with just outside of this. And when I saw this challenge, I was like, yep, that's a bit of me, so we're having that. And then my favourite season is autumn, and we've already mentioned this. So I guess the moral of the story is that there will be some form of saving going on in this channel. And you will start to see the binders and the envelope challenges and things come in, because I'm at a point where I think I can get them back into my budget, and I can do both debt paying off and some saving as well. It's just not going to be fast. The things that do go fast, if you've watched for a long time, are my small change savings challenges, and that's because I can get and grab them quite quickly. And one thing I've not been very good at is saving when I get paid. It's always something that I try and leave or wait and see if there's any ever change from my envelopes, which there very rarely is, and then we go from there. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back with another video at some point over the weekend. I will work out what that's going to be, but thank you so much as well for the interest and enthusiasm that you have shown my last two videos. It means a lot, and it makes a huge difference. So thank you. On that note, I'm going to love you and leave you, because I have to get ready for a online training call. So I hope you've had a fantastic budgeting week, and I hope you have a wonderful budgeting weekend wherever you are in the world. I will see you all very soon. Bye bye for now.